thank all of our vendors for being present, and we hope that all of you who are here to partake of the information, find useful resources. There'll be a lot of workshops and stimulating opportunities to hear about different topics, and we hope you take advantage of those. We'd like to welcome you on behalf of the city's Human Services Department, and I would like to give just a special recognition to one of our staff members who has been one of the key leaders and organizers of the event, and that's Dr. Ray Grimm in the Human Services Department. So thank you, Ray, for really helping to put this together. It's my pleasure this morning to introduce Senator Ellen Corbett, who has a few words for you. Senator Corbett was elected to the Senate in 2006. She has a distinguished career for consumer rights as well as a steward of the environment. She has introduced legislation to improve compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act, which of course benefits older adults. She has also encouraged production of energy-efficient vehicles to help California fight global warming, and has worked very hard to expand recycling laws. She's just come from Sacramento, where the legislature adopted the budget, and I'm sure it was a very difficult time. It was certainly one of the most challenging budget situations that the state of California has faced. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present Senator Ellen Corbett.
Good morning, everyone. How is everybody today? Good. Glad to hear it on this beautiful, sunny Fremont day. Thank you very much, Suzanne, for those kind words. And thank you to Pat for all your great and hard work here. Not only on behalf of the Tri-City Elder Coalition, but the Washington Hospital Board and everything else you do. And Ray, thank you so much for helping organize this today. And thank you to all of your volunteers and all your helpers and all of the individuals that make this possible. And of course, a special thank you to Washington Hospital for allowing us to use this beautiful tent. And Nancy Farber, who does such a great job here at Washington Hospital. She's such a true partner for the community, and we thank her for all that she does on all of her behalfs too. So let me just say, Suzanne touched on it. I'm so happy to be back home in the district. It was a very, very grueling budget. We did finally get it passed Friday morning after spending 24 hours in session. And some of you might wonder, why does it take so long to pass a state budget? Well, part of the problem is it takes a 2/3 vote to pass it. But more importantly, what we were doing was fighting to save some very, very important programs. The budget is a very complicated process, and a proposal is made by the governor, and then it is up to the legislature to set priorities within that framework. And what we do is we go to Sacramento after spending time in our districts, listening to all of the people we represent, and then we go to the governor and say, no, we really don't want you to cut education that much, and we really don't want you to cut that program that helps people that are at home, the in-home health services. We don't want you to cut that so much. And so the negotiation ensues. And in a year like this, when the economy is a difficult one, it's very hard to make sure that we protect those programs. So we fight for a long time. And we save a lot of those important programs because of that fight. So I apologize that it takes so long to do it, but we saved some very, very important programs during that very long fight. So let me also say, it gives me great encouragement to be able to work with people who are involved in advocating for seniors, because many of the programs that we work on in Sacramento affect seniors. And a lot of the legislation that we have been working on over the last few years affects seniors. We've been very, very active in the area of protecting seniors from fraud abuse, from identity theft. In fact, I just had an identity theft privacy protection workshop here in the Tri-City area a few months ago. Some of you may have been there. And recently, I want to tell you about a battle I was involved in on your behalf as well. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm over 50, and when I read a prescription drug bottle, it's sometimes hard to read that print. Does anybody have that problem? And if you're reading several of them at the same time,
you know, sometimes it's sort of hard to determine, okay, so I take this one once a day and I take this one in the morning and at night. And when the type size is very small, it makes it even that harder to be able to take the right dosage, right? We all know that. I have that situation. Many of us do. So after reading the studies and looking at the work that has been done on the national level and the standards that have been set at the national level, I realized we needed a law in the state of California to require a larger type size on the prescription drug labels. And in fact, the Board of Pharmacy was looking into this very issue. So I asked them to have a series of hearings across the state to determine what was the best way to come up with labels that were consumer friendly, that people could understand and people could read. And they had hearings, and the very first one, in fact, I asked them to have their very first hearing in Fremont. And after all of the hearings up and down the state, it was determined, guess what? We needed larger type size on our labels. So we took that information, I introduced legislation for this session, and we were very successful for a while. We moved the legislation, and unfortunately, in a hearing on the assembly side, people decided that what the drugstores were saying were more important than what the seniors were saying. We had senior groups from all over the state of California lobbying for this legislation, involved in rallies, and helping move this legislation forward. Unfortunately, that legislation died. But if any of you know me very well, I'll be back to fight that fight another day on your behalf, and hopefully we'll be able to have prescription drug labels that are easier to read. Doesn't that make sense? Don't you think that we shouldn't have to pass a law to make that happen? So, by the way, in the meantime, I want you to do what I think is an important thing. Advocate for yourselves and through your organizations. Next time you pick up a prescription, ask the pharmacist, could you make the label a little bigger so you have a chance to be able to read it easily, and see what they say. If enough of us ask for it, maybe they'll just change the policy on their own, which would be a great idea. So, let me just say, once again, it is my pleasure to represent you in Sacramento. I think I have one of the best districts in the entire state of California, mostly because we have events like this and advocates like the people you see in this room that really care about you, that are here to do things to take care of you today. And even though times are tough, it's a challenging job, and those are the kind of things that I think that make us all get up in the morning, to know that we have a good job to do. So as I leave the stage this morning, I do want to point out that I also have a resource table here today. It's the one that says Senator Corbett on it. And Anthony Parisi is here. You can raise his hand over there. He'll be happy to answer any questions you have. If there's anything at all going on in the state of California you'd like me to work on, please let Anthony know. In the next couple of months, we'll be putting together our bill package for legislation for next year. We'll be very, very happy to hear your ideas and work on them. So thank you very much again. It's a pleasure to represent you in Sacramento, and have a great day today. Thank you.